Justice, accountability, feels good. You see, they have been lying about Donald Trump's claims over the coronavirus for some time now. And finally, we are seeing, look, there's still a double standard in fact checking, but at least we have this. Checkyourfact.com. Did Trump call the coronavirus a hoax at his South Carolina rally? The answer is no, he did not. He said the Democrats attacking him over his response was a hoax and that they were taking the virus very seriously. And I want to read for you this article, but I'll tell you why I'm covering this. Because on Facebook, when you see Politico's garbage, trash, fake news, here's what you get. It says false information. Oh, it's just you love to see it. See why. And when you click it, it then pops up and says conclusion false. And when you're on Facebook, it works better. But it brings you to Check Your Fact. Now, of course, they're already trying to smear Check Your Fact as right-wing propaganda. No, I'm sorry. It's fake news. Check Your Fact shows us it's fake news. Watch the video. It's fake news. But it's just good to see on Facebook this happening because there was an instance with PragerU. And I posted about this on Facebook. Here's what you get. PragerU posted an image that said, here's immigration statistics. Like it had to do with Bernie Sanders voting for a border fence. They labeled the post fake news. And when you clicked it, the source they gave you was literally the source PragerU used in making that post. I kid you not. Fact checkers claimed PragerU was lying and then linked to the literal article that PragerU used. What is this, Facebook? So I took their post. I took the actual source material and says, here's proof. And they said I posted fake news too. How amazing is that? The game is rigged, everybody. Let's read this story. And then I want to talk about the politicizing of the virus. They say Politico published an article claiming President Trump called the novel coronavirus a hoax at his February 28th campaign rally in South Carolina. Verdict false. Trump referred to the alleged politicizing of the coronavirus by Democrats as their new hoax. He did not refer to the coronavirus itself as a hoax. Throughout the speech, Trump reiterates his administration is taking the threat of the coronavirus seriously. Fact check. Politico appears to misconstrue the subject of the president's statements, claiming that Trump tried to cast, this is a quote, tried to cast the global outbreak of the coronavirus as a liberal conspiracy intended to undermine his first term. I would like to send some words to Politico. How about, you are disgusting slime bags. You did this on purpose, didn't you? You knew what he was saying because you knew what his quote was. You included it in the story. And then you left out context to falsely frame the narrative because you're disgusting, egotistical, narcissistic slime bags. Nothing gets me angrier than people intentionally posting fake news, mind you. Quote, we have exposed the far left's corruption and defeated their sinister schemes, and let's see what happens in the coming months, Trump said during the rally. Let's just watch. Very dishonest people. Isn't that funny? Now the Democrats are politicizing the coronavirus. You know that, right? Coronavirus, they're politicizing it. See, Jon Stewart, formerly of The Daily Show, he said it best. These, air quote, journalists have ego problems. And when Trump calls them out, they take it personally. So in response, they turn around, look at their keyboards and begin to type and then vomit all over themselves, putting out garbage for people to read. And unfortunately, some people read the word vomit and they believe it. Facebook then doesn't fact check. Well, it's independent fact checkers. The reason why I'm in a good mood, as much as I'm insulting these people, is that it was fact checked. The novel coronavirus known as COVID-19 has spread. We get it. Some Democrats, including former New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg and Joe Biden, have criticized the administration's response to the outbreak as rudderless and ill-prepared due to the CDC and NIH budgets being cut and leadership from Trump. The Associated Press called this characterization distorted since the agencies haven't seen a loss of funding and have a playbook to follow for pandemic preparation, regardless of who is president. Welcome to garbage world. We have multiple instances of the media lying, of Democrats lying, and it feels good to see a fact check. Trump described the so-called politicizing of the White House's response to the disease as what he perceives to be an attempt to undermine his administration, likening it to impeachment and the Mueller investigation. I agree with him. They're using this for political points. Bloomberg is saying, how could Trump do this? He didn't do anything. Don't get me wrong though. Trump tried. Congress said no. Welcome to the balance of powers. Republicans and Democrats in Congress said, nah, Trump, you're not cutting budgets here. So Trump wanted to, he didn't do it. If you want to criticize the president, you can say, the president was actually looking to cut certain budgets that would have affected coronavirus preparedness. Well, the Republicans in Congress joined with Democrats to block it, but, that's a whole other story. They want to paint all Republicans as the same thing. But we have seen Republican defections under Trump before. Matt Gaetz, for instance, voted to I believe it was to restrict Trump's powers in dealing with, foreign policy in Iran and stuff. There have been Republicans who have stood on principle, and I can respect that. What they want to do, though, is make it seem like Trump and the Republicans are all the same thing. They often throw this line out. It's the party of Trump. And in many ways, it's true. But that doesn't mean that each individual doesn't have principles. It means their principles are aligned. So I want to show you this story. This is an op-ed from Corey Lewandowski, The Hill. Don't make coronavirus political. Make it stop instead. Coronavirus is not the end of the world. It can be serious. It is much more deadly than the flu. We don't have we've never experienced before. It's new, so we have to set up new, policies and parameters and things like that. And that means we are worried about it, but we shouldn't be freaking out. Right now in California, there are people raiding stores and shelves, and this is what you don't want to be doing. You don't want to run to the shop and buy up everything. You want to buy a little bit. You want to buy a little bit and be prepared in the event. I know that's a taboo word. They say, "Oh, you're a prepper." Oh, please. If you got some extra food, you go grocery shopping, you plan for the week, don't you? Do the same thing. Just do it early. Some people are freaking out. And I'll tell you what, the panic is the worst part. But I'll tell you what really bothers me. It's the politicizing of this. Because Trump is doing it right back to Democrats. And look, I'll tell you what. It's hard for me to be mad at Trump about this when they started. When Bloomberg and them, they come out and start attacking Trump over the coronavirus, then Trump responds. I wish it wasn't that way. What's he supposed to do? He's going to defend himself, and we're going to play a game of round robin. So this is what Corey writes. I get it. For Democrats, it's been a rough couple of years, losing the presidency, failing on impeachment, witnessing a fundamental shift that split the party into Democratic socialist and classic Democrat camps. None of this has been easy for the party of JFK. But nothing excuses how the Democratic leadership has acted in response to the 2019 outbreak of a new coronavirus worldwide. He goes on to mention Chuck Schumer, Bernie Sanders, Rose DeLauro, a Democrat from Connecticut. They say that this tearing up what does it say? It caused, okay. Rose DeLauro caused Republican and Democratic representatives alike to criticize or walk out of her subcommittee's hearing on coronavirus developments after she used her position as subcommittee chair to attack the administration for the diligent work being done by its top health officials. There's no reason to make America's response to the coronavirus a partisan issue. In fact, if there were any issue on which Democrats should root for, if there were any issue on which the Democrats should root for the president's success, it would be this one. Instead, they choose to continue on with never-ending, ever-changing hoax. To them, anything and everything this president does is part of some vast conspiracy driven by malintent or sheer incompetence. Let me stop you right there, Corey. I'll tell you what's really happening. They have nothing. They have literally nothing to offer the American people. And that's unfortunate. The public option is tepid. Some people want Medicare for all, but only some. Trump has lined American pockets with gold. I mean that metaphorically, not literally. The economy is great. And because people are paying attention right now to how good their lives are, hey, guess what? You've been saving up for that new car and now your business is doing great and you bought it. The last thing you're going to do is turn on the TV to listen to what these people have to say. And it's even worse than that. When you see how good things are going and you're a moderate who maybe supported Trump and they start ragging on him, you get scared. Bernie Sanders is a socialist. So what can they do? Well, they want to take the heat off their back. I can understand that. Their party's in shambles. People are quitting. So all they can do is screech about how bad Trump is. But I'll tell you what, this is part of the problem. It's kind of a catch-22. The more they screech about Orange Man, the more people quit. So the more they screech about Orange Man. It's not going to prove anything to anybody. I think something interesting might happen. I could be wrong, but I think the Republicans might absorb all the moderates and then eventually push out the far left, and the Republican Party will then split back into two parties, and you will have conservatives and liberals once again. For now, they're going to lie in the media. Fortunately, this time they got fact-checked, so that makes me feel better. They're going to lie about the president. They're going to lie about the politicians, and they're going to lie all day and night because The ideologues who work in media have nothing to offer you either. They know they're losing. The best they can do is lie. But I'll tell you what, even Vox.com said that Democrats' only option was to lie about the economy. When even BuzzFeed has to acknowledge Trump's victories over impeachment with the latest court cases, when even the Washington Post writes that the Ukraine courts ordered a probe into Joe Biden's involvement in the firing of the prosecutor, what are you going to do about it, man? And when Vox says Democrats are lying about the economy, it's time to wake up. You're losing. The lies aren't helping. They're making it worse. You want to dig yourself out of this, you got to shut up and actually start talking about what people are concerned about. And it's not the orange man. You made that problem. You know what? You can stew in it. The media plays for the Trump bump. The politicians chase it. And Americans are tired of it. We got a real virus here. All right. I want to see them take care of it and do it right. And you're not helping with your media lies. I'll see you all tomorrow in the next segment at 10 a.m. Podcast will be up at 6:30. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you next time.